Normally on this show, we talk about principles, right? We talk about ideas and the clash of ideas. And the funny thing is, the interesting thing about a free country and any place where people are allowed to discuss their differences is good people can prioritize different principles. And that's what leads to compromise. And nobody has all the truth and nobody has all the morals. And it used to be that way in this country where liberals and conservatives would just prioritize different principles. So conservatives would prioritize freedom and liberals would prioritize fairness. And we would say, for instance, no matter how much money Jeff Bezos has, it's his money. And he earned it, and the government has no right to take it away and give it to somebody else because they shouldn't have the power to do that. Because if they have the power to do it to him, they have the power to do it to all of us, right? And the left would say, oh, but look at, Jeff Bezos' poor workers. They can't go to the bathroom. He mistreats them and all these things. And so, yeah, I still would prioritize Bezos' freedom, but I also believe they're right. That Bezos should treat his workers with respect and with kindness and like human beings, and that a country that is so unfair that people can't tolerate it won't stand long. So there's room for us to debate and where's the borderline, and you push the football back and forth around the 50-yard line. That is no longer the truth because the Democrats are now being run by a far left group who are governed by academic theories that have no analog in reality. Socialism doesn't work. It has never worked. No, there's no place on earth where it has ever worked. Men can't become women. Bad neighborhoods need police. Because they're denying reality, everything they touch turns to crap. This is not a question of principle. This is a question of having ideas that simply do not connect with the real world. And when the thing that drives me crazy is when they look around at the crap, they're like, what happened? I don't understand. What can we do? We must do something. Now we have to go to the government and fix this. Instead of saying, oh, it must be Donald Trump. It's like whatever it is. They cannot understand that they're just out of touch with reality. And the thing about it is we can't even get to the point where we're arguing about reality because we're just arguing about the fact that every single thing they touch has turned to crap, but they never take responsibility. And there's a reason they don't have to take responsibility, and that is the news media. And the news media does not hold Democrats to account. And the reason the news media doesn't hold Democrats to account is that the left runs the news media, and everything the news media touches turns to crap, including everything the left touches turns to crap, including the news media. There was this great clip. This is my clip of the week on Bill Maher. Russell Brand is talking to MSNBC's John Heilemann, who's become this kind of, he used to be kind of a decent journalist, but now he's just this anti-Trump hack. And Heilemann was talking about a legitimate story, legitimate criticism of Fox News, that the Fox talkers did not express their doubts about the idea that the Biden election was stolen, right? They didn't tell people. They didn't think that was true, but they continued to broadcast as if it were true, as opposed to that nice Andrew Klavan on the Andrew Klavan show, who took the hit and took your anger and explained to you that this was not something that had been proven in any way, shape, or form. And this is the reason for this is because Fox News is a business. I'm on a mission from God. It's a difference in the way we act. So Russell Brand says to John Heilemann, you guys at MSNBC are just as biased at Fox News. And Heilemann says, oh, yeah, give me an example. And here is Brand's response, cut one.
Do you want an example? Do you want an example?
Yes.
The ludicrous, outrageous criticisms of Joe Rogan around ivermectin, deliberately referring to it as a horse medicine when they know it's an effective medicine.
Yeah, that's not a bad
Rachel
example.
Maddow turning up on the TV saying, if you take this vaccine, you're not going to get it, when it hadn't been clinically trialed for transmission. You have to listen.
Wait.
Do you think you can improve America by determinedly and avowedly condemning Fox News without acknowledging that you're participating in the same game?
Now, what's wonderful about this is Heilemann can't hear what Brand is saying. He keeps saying non-responsive, because what he's saying is the Fox hosts were saying something different behind the scenes, and so they knew they were putting forward misinformation. But when you have John Brennan on Morning Joe, after you know that John Brennan is a spreader of misinformation on a mission to disinform the public, when you have Adam Schiff on after you know he lies and he's continuing lying and you keep bringing him back on, when you have guys like Donny Deutsch who compare a sitting president to Adolf Hitler who brought about the murder, the slaughter of 70 million people, and you're comparing Donald Trump like that because you don't like the cut of his jib, you know you're lying. You know you're full of it. You remember when Devin Nunes on the House, he was the chairman of the House Intel Committee in 2018, and he sent a letter questioning how the FBI handled the Russian collusion story. And we now know that the FBI rigged the Russian collusion story for their own purposes. We know they used material that they knew was false. And this was how Heilemann reacted to Devin Nunes's letter, right? This is cut 2.
Is it possible that the Republican chairman of the House Intel Committee has been compromised by the Russians? Is it possible that they actually have a Russian agent running the House Intel Committee on the Republican side?
So he accused Nunes of being a Russian spy for saying what turned out to be true. If he didn't know he was lying then, he knows now. Has he ever gone back and corrected? Of course not. He was just asking a question. So it's not like he made the statement. This is typical stuff. They know that they're overblown. They know that they're biased, but they never stop. And that's why the news media has turned to crap. They say Ron DeSantis is banning books, and then he comes out and shows pictures of what he's banning in elementary schools, and the news media has to turn off the cameras because it's so filthy that they can't put it on the air. So now, what's happened? 16% of Americans have confidence in newspapers, down from 25% a decade earlier, 35% in 2002. 11% of Americans trust TV news, 53% don't. 11% of Americans trust John Heilemann on MSNBC, and the left can't figure out why. Why did the news media turn to crap? What happened? So they did a report. This is a report from two journalist professors, one from the ASU Walter Cronkite School of Journalism, and they put out a report. It's called Beyond Objectivity, and they interview all these guys in newsrooms. What are we going to do to fix the news media? And they all say the same thing. We've got to get beyond objectivity. We have to get beyond objectivity. This is a real quote. The journalist's job is truth, not objectivity. It's reality, not objectivity, which means they know the truth. The reason you are objective, the reason you let different sides come in is because you don't know the truth. You don't have a monopoly on the truth. So you let the Democrats talk, you let the Republicans talk, and then you let the public decide. That's all objectivity is. It's keeping your stupid leftist opinions to themselves, but they can't do it because they think that the reality is their left-wing worldview. And all the interviews have spout this leftist equity and diversity and inclusion, and they can't figure out why the news media is going to hell. They can't figure out why it's turning to crap because they can't figure out why everything they touch turns to crap. It's like churches. The churches say, well, we're not relevant anymore, so we're going to stop talking about Christ and sin and all that stuff people don't like, and we're going to play the guitar. And suddenly they look around, the church is empty. Where'd everybody go? What has caused this? It must be something in our society. No, it's you. It's you not doing your job. Everything the left touches turns to crap, and they never have to take responsibility about it because the news media doesn't hold them to account because the left runs the news media, and everything the left touches turns to crap. Wow, that guy is great. I love him. If you want more, like and subscribe. Also subscribe to The Andrew Klavan Show wherever you get your podcasts.